Anyway, Ion for next season. So player to watch. Okay.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Let's go.
So I've got a player and a team.
Okay, we'll do that.
Oh, we'll do a
We'll
team
that.
as
So
well.
my team was Nottingham Forest. I want to see. They've obviously had a really good year this year, but I'm interested to see how they do next year. Do they go even better? Do they get Champions League easy, or do they fall back to where they were the previous season near the bottom half?
Mhm.
I hear that.
And my player, this is a bit of a rogue shout and hopefully potential, Esteval. So we've agreed to sign him, Chelsea, and he's obviously going to come in. He's going to be our starting.
The Brazilian guy.
Yeah, from Palmeiras.
Yeah.
He's going to be our starting right winger. He's very young.
Says who? Over Neto.
Well, I think the idea is that he'll come in and he'll be a bit of a mainstay.
Okay.
And I'm, people have been hyping him since January, since the deal was agreed.
Yeah.
And
when you signed about 50 players.
Yes. And I don't know how it's going to go. He could be a flop. He could be, as a lot of people in Brazil are saying, one of the best players to come out of Brazil.
Well, they said that about Hendrick.
True. But I think he's
still got time. He's still got time, I think. I think. We'll see.
Okay.
But I hear that. So, yeah, my player is Liam Delap. Because wherever he goes, I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Is he the striker? Because he's been decent at Ipswich. To score 12 goals, I think at a club that's gone down with 20-ish points is quite impressive. And that release clause of 30 million, I would not be surprised if all 17 teams try to get him because that is a steal. And for team Man United, no, I'm joking. I want to say Aston Villa, and they they have the potential now if they get top 5 next year, based on what they've done this year, reaching the Champions League quarterfinal, being a kick away from potentially knocking PSG out, who some have said are the best team in Europe this season. They could be the new Big Six team over us or Spurs. Probably Spurs.
Yeah.
But Emery's building something there. And we, after 1 year, we're like, oh, they're going to fall off. But they've kept it up. They're still there. They might not get top 5, but to hold it and to make the right moves in the transfer market, it shows that they mean business.
Yeah.
They want this to be a long-term thing at the club.
I really respect the Delap shout, actually. I completely blanked on him. I'm not going to be boring and just agree with you. I'm going to give a different player. For team that I'm excited to look out for next year. Now, just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. I'm not saying Sunderland or anything like that, but I think my prediction for what's going to happen in the Europa final is that Tottenham are going to win. And I think that means that Ange is going to stay in the job next year.
Good Lord.
And I think he can only do better than where he is in the league at the moment. If he wins a trophy with Tottenham, which I think he will win a trophy with Tottenham, because I think United have a terrible side right now. Okay. I think that one to watch is in they push maybe into the sort of top 8 area, 8th, 9th, would be a really good season to come back from after winning a trophy. And then they can look at pushing into the domestic cups, the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. That's when you want to start going to now, because now you've done the Europa League. Europa League, yeah. And you had the easiest run in the world. Now, Ange is going to have a summer to build a team, hopefully, if Levy decides to throw a few quid his way.
I think what I was going to say, they'll have Champions League. So you've got that pool.
Exactly, so and the money injection from that as well.
They could definitely kick on.
Exactly. I think we saw what Ange did at the beginning of the last season and the beginning of this season as well. He was the most informed manager in the league. And it's fallen off later on, right? And it's his injuries and also his stubbornness with his tactics. And I think it'll just be interesting to see how Tottenham adapt next year. Is where I'm going with that.
This is all based on them winning the Europa final,
which I think they will do.
But if they lose, then
if they lose and he gets sacked, then it's a silly opinion. But the opinion is only based on the fact that I think he'll win the.
Okay.
If he doesn't win, then he will be gone.
Yeah.
And he should be gone after.
Solanke ACL last 2 games of the season. I mean, they're missing already their starting right winger and the starting cam, which means that we are probably going to lose because that's all they're going to be talking about.
Tottenham have beaten United 3 times this year.
But
it would be so United to then
and it would be so Tottenham to lose the game that actually matters.
And United are very clutch in Europe. They're unbeaten
in finals.
In
usually,
finals,
as long as it's not against fuckers.
So, don't know if you guys will like this answer.
I don't think I will.
But I'll explain myself.
I will.
The team I'm looking out for next season is Arsenal because, and I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Because every time I open any social media, it's like, oh, we have the world class of this player, this player, this player. Okay, where's your trophy? Right? And also like, oh, you need a striker? Sign a CDM. Sign something else.
Zubimendi.
Yeah, like
For 60 million.
I want to see how far like the fans will support Arteta before everyone start going Arteta out and start turning on him, because at this point I don't know how many years he's been at Arsenal for, probably
six and a half, I think.
Like for this long, he's had so much time to build his team. He spent so much money for what? What is he actually? There's no accomplishment really.
He's not wrong.
He's
not wrong.
He's not. He's got nothing to show for it, really. Not with his own squad, anyway.
No, he's got nothing to show for it. I think that Arteta has to leave at the end of the season if he doesn't get top. If he doesn't get second place, I think the board should actually look at removing him.
Yeah,
I think it's awful to drop out at this stage of a season.
And people were saying that last year. I think they got 87 points last year, and they were like right up there with City till the final day, pretty much.
Yeah,
and now they're on 60s.
Exactly.
You know,
the points drop off is crazy.
Yeah,
and they're not scoring anywhere near as many goals as they were last year.
No,
so it feels like a drop off.
Yeah,
people still somehow second.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, people said last season had to be the season.
This season,
they met that reach.
Yeah.
They've declined.
Yes, they've gotten worse.
But now they're saying next season. But you know,
keep it
next
going.
episode.
No, next episode, next season, bro. Every time, and then
Phase 9.
when they get knocked out of the FA Cup by us, they get knocked out of the League Cup by you.
Yes.
They say, "Oh, it doesn't actually matter. We don't care about the FA Cup. We don't care about." Why do you not care about winning a trophy?
Okay, we're not going to.
No. Fuck all of you.
No. What's the next? What?
Okay.
And player, I'm actually really curious how Marmoush is going to fit back when now Haaland's fit now.
Okay.
I'm just curious how City's going to do. I'm really excited to watch Pep do his voodoo magic with terms of rebuild, and I want to see how he's going to
Voodoo
mold City now, and how he's going to fit all of his players in and win the league for.
Marmoush might fit into that Alvarez role.
Alvarez role. He
which
can
would be.
I think he can play on the right. Could maybe play as a deeper, like a 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's good that they have
It's going
him.
to be interesting to watch either way.
yeah.
City's going to be exciting, I think, especially under Pep. I just want to see how they reinvent the wheel. Really.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout.
Okay,
I think.
I don't mind that.